Attorney General, could you fight for the people? And because I think this is just injustice. I mean, these things were forced on us. We did not have an opinion on it. And now they're telling us that we have to pay these outrageous, I thought maybe it'd be $10 a month or whenever they read the need or something reasonable. But $40, you know, for them to come out once every 3 months. And because I know my meter reader only comes out once every third.
You know, in some rural areas, the customer, you record your own usage and you send it in on a postcard.
I mean, even a smartphone, you can take a picture of it.
You'd be able to do that. That makes sense.
They told me no.
They told me no also.
Did you suggest that as well?
Yes, I said, hey, I can take a picture of it, I can email it to you in an instant.
I told them actually when they came to my door to go in the backyard to install my meter, I said, I do not want this meter. They said, if you want electricity, you have to take this meter. And I said, I do not want this meter. You have to have this meter, is what I was told.
I don't have a meter, that's what I was told.
What this all amounts to is, we are being blackmailed, pure and simple. And these smart meters, which are supposed to be to the benefit of somebody, someplace, somewhere, sure as hell ain't the public. We are getting them shoved the opposite way that Obamacare was shoved, let's just face it. And we are being blackmailed. Hey, if you want a warm house, if you want to cook your food, if you want to do this, and you want the creature comforts that you've sacrificed for, and many people paid with their lives for, you're going to do this. And that is not right. And I question you, and to tell you the truth, you're the one that's been blamed for all this. You know it. That's the reason you're here doing this. And I don't know why you waited so long to CYA myself, but it's a good thing that you're here.
I'm not trying to CYA. I'm trying to get the truth out.
Well, that's sometimes the same thing. But there's people in this room that'll help spread this word because we haven't heard this. And my question is, who appoints the people to the PUC?
I beg to differ. If you listen to my radio show, you would hear this.
The radio show just started the other day when everybody's working. I might have done the
Your
whole
radio
thing.
show didn't exist last year.
No, but I've been talking about it this year. I had her on and I brought this up. I'm just teasing you, John. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
We'll have to get rid of that.
So who appoints the people to the committee?
The governor appoints the PC, and then they're confirmed by the Senate.
And then the third leg of this stool that you were talking about, which is to protect the public.
It's not happening.
The public that's not happening. We're not being informed. There's no transparency. We're not being allowed to make comments. If we are, it's one of those deals where you have to drive to Austin and sit around over there hoping they get to it before 3 a.m.
Or they open it up and not tell anybody.
Yeah, they don't
close
tell
it
you.
and say, oops, too late.
Yeah. I mean, you know, some of us in this room have been playing this game for
John,
about 5 years.
I'll be happy to help you. I'll be happy to help you make the comments. I'm more than happy to help facilitate that. It's been over 2 years since I left the PUC, so my revolving door prohibition has gone away. I can now engage with them. And let me tell you the other part.
In this position you're running for, is there anything that you can do to influence what's happening? And are you going to stand up and be on our side and go to and be appointed to spear and go to war for us, or are you going to be elected to this position and disappear into the woodwork?
Well, I certainly won't do the latter. Here's what I will do. I'll continue to talk to the PUC. I'll continue to advocate for you to have your old meter without having to pay. I think we can find some meters. I think we can find some analog meters. That I'll do. But remember, the Attorney General's job is to defend the Constitution and laws of the state of Texas. And if it's a law that was passed by the legislature unanimously, signed by the governor, I don't think you want to ask me to ignore the law and become an activist Attorney General. Remember, let me finish. Remember, as conservatives, we get up in arms when judges ignore the law and put in place what they want, not what the law says. So we need to be consistent. What I will do is defend the laws in the constitutional state of Texas. I will use my experience as the former chairman of the PUC, second longest serving, generally considered to have had a successful tenure there, to work to allow you to get the old meter back without paying. That's what I'll do. But when I'm sworn in as Attorney General, I don't make laws.
I understand that, but just like any, and Heidi will tell you this, anybody that's been in the military, tell you, you don't have to obey a neighbor's order. Just do not. That is in the law right along here beside everything else. And if this is a law that's passed in contrary to what the people want, the people, to muster enough strength to fight a law like this after it's passed,
But
is a monumental task.
not
And
so
as our
much.
elected official, as
John,
Attorney General, we
not-
think you should represent.
Not so much, because this last session, we had an opportunity to change this. And I worked with Beth Beasel and Kathy Adams on opt-out language that Senator Corona, Chairman of Business and Commerce, filed and had a hearing on in his committee. It got passed out of his committee and died on the Senate floor. It never got a hearing. My question, the question you should be asking the people like Ken Paxton, a senator, is why didn't you go to the Lieutenant Governor and move this bill?
Yeah, Dewhurst is where we should be asking too.
All right, that bill passed out of committee 5-3. I worked with Beth and Kathy both on language to get that done, and I called Senator Corona.
Didn't you try to ask Dewhurst something about
Dewhurst
this
doesn't
at the
vote.
debate? See if I can remember.
Not me,
This came up.
not me.
Did this come up at the debate?
But he does control what comes to the floor and what doesn't.
Are you thinking about the Lieutenant Governor debate?
Yeah.
And that's what happened. It
I
never
don't
made it to
recall
the
that being
floor.
brought, I was there.
I don't remember.
I don't recall.
Heidi, was it brought up?
No, it was
I don't
not.
think
It
brought
was
up.
not.
Barry,
Okay.
when you talk about as Attorney General, you were there to defend the law. If the charter that created, the law that created the PUC has language in there that requires the PUC by law to serve the interests of the public, couldn't you use that as a means to challenge the PUC, at least open it up to transparency, to advocate on our behalf? If they're not doing the job as outlined by the law,
Right, Right.
then you, you just said, you have a duty
Right.
to go defend that law.
Because according to bonding, you were supposed to have the option of getting
Opt
that.
out.
But what I'm getting at is
Yeah.
that, what is the
it's
function
hard
of
for
the
me to see how,
PUC?
again, it's hard for me to see how Dennis can say that when the bill language and the bill analysis is not optional. But to the PUC, again, promote competition, promote the development of high-quality infrastructure, protect consumers. What I could do is go take a look at the Public Utility Regulatory Act, Puro. That's the foundational document for the PUC, and see if there's something in there
Right,
that
that's what
perhaps
I'm
this is not in compliance with. Clearly, at the PUC, it has an obligation to be transparent and open. And you should be able to find any document ever filed by anybody. I believe that they will have a hearing on this. Okay, I don't know when it will be. You'll have an opportunity to present testimony, come up and testify. Ultimately, the three commissioners will make a decision, probably next spring, on what the fee would be.
Next one.
Spring.
For the record, Bonin, in front of the Clear Lake Area Republicans, stated to the Clear Lake Area Republicans that this was supposed to be an option. You were not supposed to be mandatory. And it's recorded, it's on video.
Let me tell you about Dennis Bond.
I've heard about him from my doctor.
Dennis Bonin carried an amendment on the House floor this last session to the Ethics Commission sunset bill that would have required a railroad commissioner desiring to run for higher office to resign immediately. I don't know why he didn't just call it the Barry Smitherman amendment.
So he just targeted your function.
That's right.
Only yours.
Only mine.
Not the ag.
None. No other office. No other office.
Very
No
interesting.
other office.
This foundation document that you mentioned, is that online, is that somewhere that we could also?
Which
pull
one?
up through The foundation, or the
Pure.
document for
Pearland, the
Yeah.
Public Utility Regulatory Act.
Yeah.
It's in the Utilities Code, and it's all that's online. Now, it's pretty voluminous, you know, figuring out where to get to the exact section could be a little tricky, but I might be able to find a copy of it and get it for you.
When they started this bill, which one of them rocket scientists up there pushed it? And which one of the rocket scientists thought it was best for us without bringing it to the people of the state of Texas to vote on it?
Well, here,
Why was this all done CIA, KGB way?
the, listen, I can't answer that. I'll say one thing in defense of the legislature.
And not a lot of it.
One thing in defense of this was in 05 and 07. They had hearings on these bills in the appropriate committees, and no one came and said.
Public was asleep then.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
but
they
this-
were-
Well, were these hearings held at midnight like
no,
they generally do their hearings?
I don't know, but they were open to the public, and nobody came. Because had they come, they wouldn't have been passed unanimously. So, you know,
There've been
when.
many hearings that they've held, and when they see people there, they cancel the hearing, and then they dismiss, and they come back at midnight.
Listen, I'm not here to defend the legislature. I'm just telling you, they had hearings, and it was public, and no one expressed concerns. Because at the time, I don't think people really thought about the health or privacy concern. Now they are expressing concerns.
Well, I
They
don't
had
think
it
we
probably.
even knew.
We didn't even know.
We didn't even know what a smart meter was until after they passed it.
Y'all should have
Well,
checked
that's
the
what
picture where
happens
it
with a lot
told
of
us
bills.
what that.
And in '05, when they passed the first bill, is when they also started charging us through our electric bills for the smart meters to come.
Yeah, you've been.
It was either '05 or '07.
Well, I was there last session for a hearing on smart meters, and they did